Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of The Marriage Man, and today we're going to be talking about a somewhat rough subject, and so it has to do with the wearing of masks. Now, I want to kind of limit my focus because I know that right now, especially in social media and in politics, this is a very charged issue, and I don't really want to lend my voice to what is already, quite frankly, a shouting match. I want to really kind of confine my topic of today about what happens when, that debate that we see raging between should we wear masks, should we not wear masks. It's not out there on social media, it's here within our marriage where me and my partner disagree on wearing of masks or of other precautionary things that have to do with COVID. How do we navigate that? How do we make sense of that? And what I really want to give you is just tips on how to not get a one-up on your partner or beat them, but how to just resolve this and to move forward. And so, first off, I just want to put a disclaimer out and say that what I'm going to be talking about is strictly advice that's to be used within a marital setting or any other setting where there's two committed people in a long-term relationship. It's not designed for other situations, okay? So it's really just marriage. So now that I kind of got that disclaimer out of the way, let's dive in. So, how do you resolve a fight when you and your partner don't seem to be on the same page when it comes to wearing masks? And so the first thing that I always kind of tell clients is when they're having fights about an issue like this, is to get it off of the issue and down to the values that are underneath. Because when couples fight over things, somebody wins and somebody loses. Or you just get gridlock. So let's say, should we wear masks? Should we not wear masks? All right. So if you make it about a thing, somebody's going to win and somebody's going to lose. And in a marriage, you want both people to win. You don't want one person to win and the other person to lose. And how you do that, how you avoid that gridlock, which a lot of couples get into, not just about wearing masks, but on other issues, is you get it off of the thing itself down to what does this thing mean to you. So if you and your partner are arguing about whether or not to wear masks, what I would ask you, and I want you to really do some soul searching on this, is why does it matter to you? And that may seem like a pretty obvious question, like, Gabe, really? You're asking me that question? It's obvious. Explain it like you're explaining it to a 3-year-old. Really kind of dive within yourself and say, okay, are you scared? So are you angry? Are you not wanting to be controlled? What is it about this issue, about this wearing of masks that means a lot to you? Because if you can get it down to a value like, hey, I really, really want to feel safe, or I really don't want to be told what to do. Most of the times when you can get it to that, you can start finding some type of common ground with your partner. So it's really important. The first step in this fight is actually to do your research. It's kind of like if you ever took debate class. You don't just dive into a debate and just start debating. You go and you do your research on the topic and on the issue. And the same is true. You know you better than your partner knows you. Better than I know you, because I don't know you most likely. But you know you. So you know why this matters to you. And if you can't figure that out, if you can't put that into words to where your partner can understand, all they're going to see is your angry face and your raised fist, and they're not going to want to listen. So really kind of diving in is going to be your first big step. The next one is I want to talk about, okay, once you've identified what you need, whether it's safety, whether it's not being controlled, whether it's respect, I don't know. Once you've figured out what it is that you need, here's something that I want to walk you through, because there's a dynamic that plays out in marriages that you don't really see in any other relationship, and it's what I like to call this idea of the more and the less. And I know I've talked about this in other videos, but it's still true. Meaning, there's somebody in marriage who wants something more than the other person wants it. So if you're mad at your partner because you really want to feel safe, it's not that your partner doesn't want to feel safe. It may feel that way when they don't want to wear their mask, but it's just that they don't want to feel as safe as much as you want to feel safe. They still want to feel safe because we all do as humans, but you want it more. And so there's this gap between what you need and what your partner can give you. Because once they reach this point, hey, once they've done this much precaution for COVID, they're good. They feel safe. They have arrived at a feeling of safeness. To go beyond that would feel maybe stupid, maybe pointless, maybe wrong, maybe it would feel controlling, I don't know. But either way, they've gotten what they need, but you haven't. So what typically shows up is that when couples fight about this, it's this person, whoever the more is exerting pressure on this person. Maybe it starts off nice and sweet, maybe it's guilt, maybe it's anger. And so this sets up a dynamic where if this person does raise the bar and does start taking something more seriously, it's not because it actually matters to them. It's because they want to get you off of their back. But the problem with this dynamic is that when this person increases their effort and maybe they take it up to here, guess what? If this is the pass-fail mark, they're still failing. And so if their goal is to get you off of their back, even though they've doubled their effort, it's still not working. So what are they going to do? They're going to say, you know what, screw it, I can't make you happy, so I'm just going to do me. Or they're going to just continue to do it, but they're not going to do it out of love. They're going to do it out of, I'm mad at you and I'm pissed at you, and so I'm doing this out of anger, not out of love. And you see how this can set up a bad dynamic where you're essentially still keeping anger and negative emotions inside the marriage. So what do you do? What do you do? And so if you're the more, meaning you want more safety than your partner does, okay? Here's what you do with the gap. And I'll just be honest, this is going to be hard to hear, but you need to take ownership of that. You need to recognize that if you want to feel safe, it is on you to feel safe. Because a lot of times couples get to this point, but they get to it in an unhealthy way. They get to it where this person has tried and tried and tried and tried to make this person take it seriously, and then they don't, so they're like, you know what, screw it, I'll just do it myself. And they get to the correct answer, but they get to it in a point of frustration and it's anger, and it's done out of anger rather than a more mature aspect of, if I want safety, I need to be responsible. And so when you shift to this mindset of, hey, you have needs, and while your partner can meet some of those needs, it is still your responsibility. If you want to feel safe, it is your responsibility to feel safe, not your partner's. Once you can kind of wrap your head around that dynamic shift, what it does is it makes you feel powerful again. Because a lot of times when this dynamic plays out, this person here feels powerless, because in this dynamic of the more and the less, this person here, the person who has less, who wants something less, controls the power. Meaning, if I want my partner to wear masks, this person has the power. And the thing is, they don't want it. They don't want to be responsible for your safety. They do up to a certain point, but not up to the point that you want them to be. And so when you take ownership of your own needs, it's really cool because it changes the dynamic and it gives you back a sense of power. It gives you back a sense of control, which is awesome. And it also frees up more creative problem solving. So for example, if your only solution to, I want my partner to wear a mask, was berate, nag, give him the silent treatment, whatever, or give her the silent treatment, that's not a whole lot of options. But if you start to realize, if my partner's going to do this, what can I do? Do I start wearing a mask around my partner? Do I start washing my hands? Do I start using more Purell? Do I social distance from my partner? Again, none of these solutions are ideal, but they work and they give you back control. And like I said, it gets you out of that gridlock of your only solution is to nag your partner. All right? So I know that that's probably a bit of a paradigm shift and that might be a big pill to swallow, but trust me, I've seen this play out with couples on multiple issues. And it's always kind of like this, that doesn't make a lot of sense, but then when they get it and they start running with it, it works. It really does, okay? So I hope that this has helped give you kind of a different perspective and gives you some ideas of where you can go forward with this. If you liked this, if you kind of found a way to work with this with your partner, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. And until then, I will see you guys in the next video. All right? Bye.